Hello everyone. Okay, so in this video, I will do an intro regarding a lingering issue with the critical 29th degree of when Pluto was in Capricorn that will play out in December as well, and how the Mars-Pluto opposition from November is still in play and until spring 2025. I will also briefly discuss the four super full moons of this year that are related because of their vibrational effects. Then I will give you a quick rundown of December's three main themes. Then I will put up December's planetary alignment with the aspects and degrees for you to take a screenshot of. And then I will also give you some hints and tools to help you navigate a clearer picture for your signs. Thereafter, I will give you a personal scope for each sign for December, and it will have a snippet of your 2025 scope. So that'll be included. So a lot of information, and I will probably speed up the, not the volume, but the video to get more airtime in each video, as I will have several videos because I can't fit all signs on one. So if the video is too fast, just go to the settings icon on the YouTube video and slow it down if you need to. Okay, and I'll mention the pinned comments in the intro. So, okay, so I want to start off this intro by saying you would be forgiven for not believing all this hullabaloo of astrologers and others celebrating the end of Pluto in Capricorn, yay, in November, and onwards to bigger and better things. Obviously, many of you are not feeling that way, or you may have a nagging feeling, maybe discontent, or some sort of like a thorn in your side. And you are right. This is another reason I have not put out a dedicated video for Pluto and Aquarius for all signs. But that will surely come in the future because we have plenty of time and it is a 20-year transit. But in the near future, I will put that video out because I want to first help you understand this lingering feeling and planets and the asteroids that are coming in for a cleanup in Isle Capricorn. Plus, I just don't want to leave anyone behind, and there's a lot of wrapping up behind that's left. I'm specifically referring to this wrap up or this cleanup in Isle Capricorn. I'm specifically referring to Ceres, the dwarf planet, and the very critical 29th degree of Capricorn. That, Pluto has gone back and forth over the last few months. And Ceres is just as powerful as Pluto, but with a different strategy in mind. Mercury is retrograde and will be shadow retrograde through December until January 4th. I mean, it will go direct, I think, around December 15th, but it will still be in its shadow retrograde, and that doesn't clear until January 4th. Mars is about to retrograde in Leo, and it'll back up all the way into Cancer until it goes forward again in both signs, which ends in April of 2025, or maybe a little later. And the North and South nodes are in Aries and Libra, respectively, until the end of January. So with the nodes, it's 18 or 19-year karmic and repetitive story. And finally, as our transformation has been completed with Pluto in Capricorn, but from within, we are now transforming on the outside, or trying to reconstruct those broken pieces that Pluto just trampled on. If you remember from the November scope, I said this will come in 3 stages in December. And the first stage is this first week of December. And then the second stage is the winter solstice, and then finally at the end of the month with the new moon on New Year's Day. And in 3 spaced apart stages from January, spring, and mid-year 2025, okay? But I will go in more detail with each scope, each individual scope for you guys on how that all plays out. But right here, I just wanted to give you, like a synopsis. Okay, so now the tools and hints that you can get. Um, First, you can get your natal chart by Googling free birth charts. So you can see where December's planetary degrees may match your natal planetary degrees, which will mean where, when, and how you will be affected. Also, to get a clearer picture, listen for your sun, moon, and ascendant sign. And remember, your sun sign is where you shine. That's where your personality is, or where your strength is. It is your father, what your father imparted onto you. Your moon sign is your emotions. They are hidden. The moon is hidden. It is at night. It is what your mother imparted onto you. And then you can listen to your ascendant sign, which is the persona you display. It is the mask. It is how people see you. Uh, Now, just one note on this is some people and astrologers disagree with the ascendant um, being the persona and rather point to the I can't say it, mimium coli or the IC. It's in your chart. Um, they say that the IC is really your persona, and it is very much related to a family member that you may have been affected by, or family members or friends say you sound and look like that family member. I personally have tested this and it has proven to be correct. So it is up to you if you want to listen to that sign as well, your Mimim Kalai. All right, another tool, and this is rather a hint, is planets show us what is happening, signs show us how it is happening, and houses show us where it is happening. Okay. Okay, also look for the pinned comments for related links I may mention and for links to other signs that will, again, not entirely fit in one video. So I want to spend a few minutes briefly reminding you regarding the super full moons we've had since September, because they are related, of how we got here. Again, only 1 or 2 points on each. So the first one was August 19th, super full moon in Aquarius, which was called the super blue moon. So the moon in Aquarius opposed the Leo sun, and both the sun and moon squared wild Uranus, which was in Taurus and still is, as well as Jupiter and Saturn squared off. So that was pretty powerful. And when I say, the super full moon in Aquarius, you would look to where Aquarius, which house Aquarius falls in your solar chart. In your natal chart, also, you would look to see if you have any Aquarius factors. And then you would look to the house in the Leo, where Leo dominates in your solar chart, and then you will understand where those oppositions were. Okay, and the second one was September's partial lunar eclipse in Pisces. It was called the super harvest moon. This eclipse in Pisces did oppose the Virgo sun. So again, look to your Pisces. So, for example, if you're like a Sagittarius, you would count 2 Pisces. So it would be Sagittarius, Capricorn, Aquarius, Pisces. So Sagittarius would be your first house, Capricorn your second, Aquarius your third house, and Pisces would be your fourth house. Okay, and then Virgo. So you would count all the way to Virgo, and then you'll know which houses oppose. Okay. And here there was some sort of ending in your Pisces dominated house, but there was some sort of a dual option and there was some kind of a reversal. Okay, the third super full moon was October's October 17th super full moon in Aries, which is called the super hunter's moon. And prior to that, the first week in October, we did have a Libra solar eclipse, which opposed the Aries sun. So and plus we have the north and south nodes in Aries and Libra respectively. So all that is in play, and what that was saying was an opposition or a push-pull between independence and partnerships, or independence at the risk of losing partnerships, or codependency at the risk of having independence, and so on and so forth. And again, I have videos dedicated to these super full moons, as well as you can, there's videos for the month, so you can go back and listen to those if you're interested. The final super full moon was the Taurus super full moon on November 15th or thereabouts. It was called the Super Beaver Moon. And Taurus is ruled by Venus, and Venus was in Capricorn, I believe, at that time. Uranus was also in Taurus, and Taurus. Um, so there was a tight conjunction with Taurus and Uranus in the moon, which opposed the Scorpio sun. So that was pretty powerful too. But I will say the most powerful of the four super full moons um, was the October 17th doozy of a full moon in Aries, which opposed the Sun in Libra and squared Mars in Cancer and Pluto. Not to mention, there was a Mars Pluto opposition. I think a few days earlier, or maybe in November. Well, it was an applying opposition. Um, in any case, the super full moon in Aries, in opposition to the Libra Sun, um, there was an ending in your Aries-dominated house, um, wanting some sort of independence at the expense of your Libra-dominated house. So a relationship was severed, or was the cause of the ending, or um, there was, or Libra was stifled in being its true self in a relationship, so that it would not rock the boat, as Aries demanded independence. Okay. Now, the last thing I have to mention for your own good, or for your information, sorry, some people get mad when I say for your own good. So, as an FYI, or to be aware of, as I mentioned earlier, Mars will retrograde from Leo all the way back up into Cancer, where it opposed Pluto in Capricorn in November. Of course, this time Pluto will be in Aquarius, opposing Cancer. It'll happen next year. Um, but the theme of the original opposition will be in play, okay? The overarching theme. Uh, but since it'll be in Pluto will be in Aquarius, there'll be some kind of a twist. And Cancer rules the home and family. So again, the theme of tradition, home and family will be in play in another opposition then. And that is why I mentioned in your October full moon in Aries ending that ending will be revived in spring of 2025 somehow. And 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 I also mentioned trying not to have a I'm doing air quotes volatile ending, or rise up to the heat, because Mars is the god of war and action. Because it will carry over to this new beginning, this revival in spring of 2025. Nonetheless, whatever happened, at least you are now aware of any issues or conflicts that may come up with this revival. And calm, formidable, and being disciplined will really help you with this. So try to remember that. Now, um, with this intro about this lingering Pluto and Capricorn 29 degrees and these super full moons. And I'm not saying that there isn't something new happening for all of us and around us. There is. But like I mentioned, there is a lingering opposition, an issue which has crescendoed and which might feel almost irreconcilable, or even daunting for some. For others, it might be just like a thorn in their side. So yes, unfortunately, there still is some work to be done here. And God, or the universe, in its wisdom, know this, and the planetary alignments and aspects until about next spring or mid 2025 will be helping us with letting go where we need to, and or coming to a compromise, agreement, or even reversal that needs to happen. And more immediately, the universe is sending in Ceres, Pluto's most important equal, um, and who forced Pluto to compromise over Persephone. I believe Pluto's story is in October Scope. I'm not sure, but I'll put a link if you want to hear the story of Pluto and Persephone and Ceres. Ceres brought Pluto to his knees. Um, so this first week of December, Ceres is doing just that. um, 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 has taken over from Pluto, because Pluto left Capricorn. Ceres took over from Pluto in Capricorn and is transversing that critical 29th degree. Okay, she is cleaning up after the hurricane, but cleaning up whether you like it or not, um, cleaning up in the sense of a compromise, and an equitable compromise where both parties um, gain and and lose. So you sacrifice to gain a compromise. And then Ceres will be moving to 0 degrees in Aquarius at the end of this first week of December, but more on that later. So Ceres is one of the 3 immediate planetary components of December that will help you with this outer transformation and reconstructing those broken pieces that we're all picking up now. It will help you with your newfound phoenix wings that Pluto gave to us. Remember, Pluto is about transformation. It's about the phoenix rising from the ashes, about rebirth. Like I said, she is the first of 3 other things that are going on in December. And December will have 3 themes, um, and I will go into each scope right at the beginning. I will tell you what those 3 themes are for December. And I think this is a good segue to go. Okay, so this is December 2024's planetary lineup, and I did list almost all of the planetary aspects just as a Christmas present for everyone. Of course, I will not go over each and every single aspect that you see here. I will only um, mention the significant ones that will resonate more. But I went ahead and did everything for December just as a Christmas present. So go ahead and take a screenshot, and you can stop the video and take a screenshot if you want. So we have the 1st through the 5th, and then the 6th through the 9th, and 9th through the 15th, 17th through the 21st. 21st is the winter solstice. The 22nd through Merry Christmas, the 25th, and the 26th through the 31st. Okay, so those are the planetary lineups. You can stop the video and take the different screenshots and match it to your natal chart and follow along. So now, hi there, Sagittarius. First, happy birthday. This is your birthday month. And Merry Christmas, a very Merry Christmas. Happy holidays and a Happy New Year in advance. All right, Sagittarius, still brooding, or has something lit that fire of yours? I think it has, and let us discover why. For the past 12 or 14 years, you have had to change your living space or conditions several times, and with dismaying facts being realized regarding your picture perfect family history. Neptune in Pisces, while has helped you escape the reality of slowly crumbling away of the walls of your residence and figuratively, both figuratively, with your family members. You have recently figured out that people you trusted with your safe space and roots have taken liberty of your goodwill and maybe even selfishly. God, can't talk. Unfortunately, it does come with the realization of your own life choices or with your own knowledge, but you would be forgiven for allowing it, as your optimistic nature naturally allows for complete trust of neighbors, let alone close family members. But alas, Even angels can fall from grace if they are given too much power. In other words, the people you trusted the most have fallen short of protecting you and your safe space, whether by betrayal, passing, and my condolences to those people who have suffered the loss of their parents, jealousy or selfishness, or maybe to be kind to them, their own life circumstances. Whether that or something else, you are understandably very angry right now, and you are not accepting any more of more, even if it is the bed you have made and are lying in it. Your family, relatives, and neighbors are seeing signs of you putting up with the no disturb, keep out, and knock before you enter signs from you. Some of these people will be cut out temporarily, maybe, until they understand you are not crying wolf anymore. When will that happen? By late spring, when Neptune leaves Pisces, and you will be rewarded with your patience and sticking to boundaries that Saturn has been helping you with the last 2 years, and especially very active this first week. Um, who will also feel at that time you have learned the lessons and will leave Pisces too. Okay. But until then, we have December until that time. Excuse me. And as you have taken these strict measures with the help of Saturn, having woken up in Pisces and moving forward, Neptune too wakes up on December 6th and realizes the harm that maybe there some have caused with helping you create illusionary visions of a home and family uh, life, and triggers a new moon in Pisces to make amends. It is another dreamy and hopeful new beginning to an end that you will start spring 2025. It is there for you to take or plant the seeds of to culminate by spring. The only trick, and Saturn is in lockstep to help you, is boundaries and discipline. There will be more videos regarding this short 6 month journey, if nothing but the monthly scopes till then. Okay, Sagittarius. Now, the other two themes in December. One is the very new theme that started with when Pluto left Capricorn and entered Aquarius, your third house of communication, commuting, siblings, cousins, and social media. Your need to be heard. You have started some type of project in regards to one or more of these things and are learning unique new ways to build this. A friend, friends, group, or an association who are also unique are and will be empowering you through this journey. Maybe your sibling, it may be cousins, or even your social media followers. On December 7th, Ceres, Venus, and Pluto will all conjunct Aquarius at 0 degrees, a very rare configuration and an important one that kickstarts your empowerment. On or about this time, you will understand where you particularly stand in this, whether you're in the inside or outside harnessing it. Look to your natal chart for where Aquarius falls, and if you have anything at 0 degrees. This is also a good time to remind you to listen to the introduction, as it gives you a backstory and much more details than my summarization here. And I also give you tools to help you understand more clearly regarding your natal chart. Okay, the third and final theme of December, which will be split in 3 phases, has to do with the critical 29th degree that Pluto kept transversing over the past month in Capricorn, which is your second house of income and your value system. So, how you value yourself, not how others value you. That would be your eighth house. While Pluto has completed your transformation from within, you are a powerhouse now regarding your second house. Mars came in November, though, to oppose Pluto and begin an outward transformation. Okay, this is the key here, as Mars will go retrograde in Leo, your ninth house of foreigners and higher education, and Cancer. It was Mars was in Cancer when it opposed Pluto, which is your eighth house of intimacy, joint finances, inheritance, the mortgage, credit, government benefits, and so on. So this opposition lasts until spring 2025, when your outward transformation has to concur these two houses for it to be complete. but more on that in later videos. And I will touch a little bit more um, on it as I go through the rest of your personal scope here, because like I said, it's in three phases. So, in regards to December and the first phase, Ceres has taken over from Pluto and is still in Capricorn on that critical 29th degree, working on a compromise in the first week or so of December. Remember, Ceres is just as, if not more powerful than Pluto, because it was Ceres who brought Pluto to his knees over her daughter Persephone. He abducted her without her knowledge. And I have linked that story in the comments, in the pinned comment. So if you're new and you haven't heard it, you can hear it. Ceres is the embodiment of the powerful mother, grieving mother, and compromising mother-in-law. I chose my descriptives carefully because you need to understand that it is through this compromise that Ceres is helping with that your own self-worth is acknowledged, and by you, not the other. Once again, understand this in the context of it is how you value yourself that others will value you. In astrology, the first 4 or 5 houses, 6 houses, we control. So, for example, house 1 through 6. The next 5 houses we do not control, but others do. So, for example, 7 through 11. Finally, the 12th house is the house of God, and it is the hidden house and falls on a different level completely. So when you have a problem, let's say with your eighth house of how people value you, it's the house where you benefit from other people's money, usually in lump sums. Uh, if you have a problem there, what you do is you correct it by fixing the house you control opposite of that, which is your second house, and so on. Okay, the second phase, the discussion of the compromise, is debated more, talked or alluded about again, or more, like I said, during the winter solstice in Capricorn, beginning on December 21st through Christmas. Finally, and tentatively, a new idea or opportunity comes in on New Year's Eve um, or New Year's Day with the new moon in Capricorn regarding your second house. I say tentatively because for Sagittarians, it is a little more complicated as we have Mercury in your sign, um, still at shadow retrograde then. And the first half of December, it's retrograde. Up until January 4th, when Mercury clears its shadow in your sign, and you can bank on the conversation not being muddled or confused. And we also have Mars going retrograde in Leo and Cancer. Um, so there's a lot of reviewing being done. Jupiter is in Gemini, your opposite sign, your seventh house of partners. It is also going retrograde. So it is also retrograde now. So there's a lot of stop starts and information coming in later. Okay, let's look at your planetary alignment in December. I will not go into all the aspects, but I did list them for you guys as an extra for this month's scope to speculate on your own. And right before I started this personal scope for you, I did throw up the December 2024 planetary alignment with all the planets, aspects, and degrees. You can take screenshots of that and compare it to your natal chart. Again, in the intro, it tells you how to get your natal chart and gives you some other clues. Like when you look at this, planets show us what is happening, signs show us how it is happening, houses show us where it is happening. All right. But I will go over the planetary lineup and I will only point out the main significant ones that I feel will affect you directly. Sorry about that. My mouse keeps dying. I have to wake it up. All right. So on December 1st, today and tomorrow, there is a new moon in your sign. Okay. So a new idea that is very expansive, very optimistic, that you're either contemplating or someone, or you and someone are discussing. It's the seed of something that you're planting about yourself. Okay. Just remember, you don't do details. So this idea may be a little too expensive or maybe is not time sensitive. So give yourself space if it doesn't work out in the time space you are looking to. All right, so that's the new moon. All right, on the 4th, we have the sun in your sign. It will square Saturn in Pisces on the 4th. So today is about facing the music, where no one is around you for answers or for help, which is okay, Sagittarius. It's better to be alone, so that you can clearly see it from your own perspective and initiate what you want yourself, okay? And then go out to do whatever you need. You are one of the four signs that will be impacted directly by this, regardless of the degrees. So you don't really have to look into your natal chart. Just remember that date. Anyway, it's on the planetary alignment. All right. On the 6th, Mars in Leo will station retrograde. If you are new here, I always harp about planets whenever they station to go retrograde or forward. It's very important. A veil is lifted. Um, you get a snapshot of what's going on. You get a little commercial of what's going on, and especially with these planets that go retrograde and forward, the reason they're doing that is because there's something important there that has to be fixed. Okay, so pay attention to the 5th, 6th, or 7th, when you'll get like a snapshot of what is wrong or what is going on or what will happen. Uh, and Mars stationing retrograde in Leo, um, and then eventually in Cancer, and then it'll go forward. But Mars turns retrograde. The will to keep on going or fighting the good fight is subsiding when it's reversing. It is a fight within yourself. So the trick here is to pace yourself and use discipline. As the more you try to be assertive with the energy will reverse back at you. Okay, twice as hard. Use this energy to resolve the two differing parts of yourself, or play your own devil's advocate, because when it goes direct, um, you will eventually get what you want because it's Mars, but you want to be on a powerful footing. Okay, you want to be transformed within and out to demand what you want. Also, this is a disclosure to be careful with authority figures during this time, because when it goes reverse, like I said, the energy is coming back at you. Leo is your ninth house of foreigners, foreign people, foreign lands, long distance travel. It's about higher education, philosophy, the World Wide Web, and publication. And you are one of the three signs that will be impacted by this, regardless of the degrees. All right, so on the 7th, we will have Ceres, Venus, and Pluto all conjunct in Aquarius at 0 degrees. Um, we will have a new moon in Pisces, as I mentioned earlier, and Neptune in Pisces stations direct at 27 degrees. Also, the sun in your sign will oppose Jupiter, your own ruling planet, in your partnership house at 16 degrees. So let's do Ceres, Venus, and Pluto conjunct in Aquarius. So the friendships, associations, or group, or like I said, social media followers that appeared around November 19th and are growing will be about the control and power that you have, or maybe you don't. Um, will actually reveal these power dynamics by or around December 7th. Okay. And I will mostly concentrate here on Venus conjoining Pluto in Aquarius. Venus's role is to attract people, riches, fame, and fortune. Pluto is the god of the underworld, where there are, physical riches, but power mostly. Um, and Aquarius is um, it is the genius of the zodiac, very quirky, Uranian, electrifying, fast thinking sign. So, Venus, what's happening here when it's conjoining Pluto, Venus is attracting um, ingenious Aquarian people that have Plutonian power, who will be able to deliver the riches and in regards to power regarding your Aquarian related house, which is your third house of communications and social media. Um, so concentrating on the people here, the Aquarian people, be aware that uh, Aquarians while yes, they're for the good of humanity and good of the group and all that good stuff, there's a shadow side. And one of the shadow sides is that Aquarius with groups of people have a hierarchy. There's a class restriction or sectarianism involved. Um, and you may not be in that class, okay? But with Venus here conjoining Pluto, um, she is helping you permeate this strata, these sects, these classes, um, but at a Plutonian price, okay? I think you may be getting the picture of what I'm trying to convey to you. I first introduced the idea of Pluto and Aquarius to you guys back in November. So if you're new here, you can look up that video. But it's that Aquarius is faster than Capricorn. Capricorn is slow and steady, wins the race. Aquarius is it's so forward thinking, and it's already accounted for faults and stuff. It's like, let's go. Here, you want this? Fine, I'll give it to you, but let's go. And what you thought was out of reach will surprise you and come fast and furious. But you just need to be careful of what you wish for, as I mentioned in your November scope. Be careful of the price that needs to be paid, because you may regret it later. Even though you're ruled by Jupiter, Jupiter protects you. You're always very lucky. Just it's still Aquarius, lightning, thunder, um, quirkiness. But I understand that this desire that you have for power and control in here, it's because it will resolve many other things that you're hoping to have be good on, and the desire for it is too strong. So I understand, but the trick here is small measured steps if you can. Even though I'm throwing up my hands in the air right now because Aquarius does not do small measured steps. But in any case, you will need to go through it because it is a 20-year transit, and Aquarius is here with Pluto, and they will transform this house for you, whether either way. All right, but yeah, just remember, um, what you can and cannot risk. You are not one of the four signs that will be impacted directly, regardless of the degrees. So do look for 0 degrees in your natal chart to see where you will be affected with this Venus Pluto conjoining, and look to see where Venus is, where Aquarius is in your natal chart. Okay, but in your solar chart, like what I'm doing here, it is your third house because we count from your sign to Aquarius. All right, now the Sagittarius sun opposing Jupiter in its opposite sign, in your opposite sign of Gemini. This can be viewed two ways. One would be your Sagittarius, first house, and Gemini, seventh house, um, are opposed to the way things should be handled. And it is a finale or an ending to both of these houses. Or it can be the culmination of both of these houses to be harvested from the fruits of your labor. Okay. The trick here is, since it is the most powerful planet, the sun, in your sign, and of course, an equally powerful planet, Jupiter, your ruler, but it is retrograde, is try not to push your luck in what you are getting. This can translate to money and riches or fame. Like I said, it's two ways with this opposition. There are some oppositions that yield reward. There are oppositions where it's loggerheads. It's a deadlock. But this can be a rewarding one. Just don't push your luck. So whatever Jupiter offers you, don't be like, oh, that's great, but you know what? I would have liked this, because then Jupiter will take everything away. Um, you are one of the four signs that will be impacted directly, regardless of the degrees involved. Okay. And like I mentioned, Neptune coming out of retrograde, I've already discussed this. The only thing I will say here is, you will have a realization that all this muddled and going uphill with this, um, and you think it's just an illusion, is actually, you will see that your hard work has actually yielded not the illusion but the reality. Um, and we want to acknowledge Saturn for this. Pisces is your fourth house of home and family. Okay, because this is about to change. drastically. Even if it has changed recently, it will change again. All right, the first quarter moon and Pisces. Again, it's the same thing with what's going on with your home and family. Um, so the next date is the 12th. Venus in Aquarius at 5 degrees opposes Mars in Leo at 5 degrees. This is Venus and Mars, men and women. It's romantic problems and fights. Roles are reversed here, though, so that you both will feel what it's like to walk in each other's shoes. You are not one of the 5, 6 signs that will be impacted directly, regardless of degrees. So do look for 5 degrees in your natal chart and see where Aquarius and Leo fall in your chart, as well as Venus and Mars. All right, on the 13th, the moon in Gemini, your partnership house at 6 degrees, will oppose Mercury in your sign. Your partner is opposing what you are trying to convey or come to an agreement with, because Mercury rules agreements as well, or what you are thinking about, because Mercury rules how we think. And um, and another side of this is Mercury and Venus is about partying, socializing, get-togethers, networking. So, and it's not abnormal. It's the holiday month. It's the Christmas month, and all that. So, expect invitations, and you will be having discussions with very unique people, forward-thinking people that may end up being very important in your very near future, specifically January and February. So pay attention to who you meet and what the discussion is about. If you don't meet those people, you will meet them indirectly with this get together. So you may meet someone and you talk about whatever you want to do, and they'll be like, "Oh my God, I have an investor for that," or "Oh, I know my brother knows a friend of a friend, and we can hook you up," and so on and so forth. So pay attention to the discussion in the meeting or tentative meeting on the 13th. You are one of the 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 signs that will be impacted directly, regardless of the 6 degrees. So look to that date. All right, on the 15th is a sort of a big deal day. The sun in your sign at 23 degrees will oppose the moon in Gemini this time. So moon is all about emotions, and Gemini is your 7th house of partnerships. So um, something that you are doing, thinking, or appearing is in direct opposition with your partner, or rather with their feelings. And then Mercury stations direct in your sign at 6 degrees. And then, well, Mercury stationing direct in your sign again, if you're new, like I said, whenever a planet stations, the veil is lifted. You get a picture of the outcome, or why there is this problem, why Mercury is going back and forth. What is the missing link? What is the missing information? So pay attention to the conversations, the letter, the texts, the phone calls. It'll give you a clue. And the third and final very important thing happening on the 15th is there is a full moon in Gemini at 23 degrees. Gemini is your partnership house. So it is an ending. And it can be a culmination or a fruition of your past efforts. Uh, the ending in your Gemini related house does feel like a really major decision here. And the problem is that you have like a sinking feeling, thinking that this is just not what you want. I always say avoid any life altering decisions during full moons, especially since Mercury, the ruler of Gemini, the ruler of your partnership house, which is in your sign, so it's a role reversal, is retrograde, and it's in your sign. You simply do not have the full picture or all of the information. Okay. Besides, full moons conceal more than they reveal. Okay. A lot of astrologers say, oh, it will illuminate. It is a full moon. No, there is something hidden from you. It isn't the moon. It isn't night. So you don't have that information. Mercury is still in its shadow, and Jupiter is still retrograde. So yeah, there's a lot of information missing. If you can delay any decisions until January 4th, try to. If not, try to get something in writing. But if this is meant to end, it will end. If you stick to it, when Jupiter starts going retrograde, it'll expand the problems. Okay, and you are one of three signs that will be impacted directly, regardless of the degrees. All right, moving on. On the 18th, the sun again in your sign will square Neptune this time in your home and family at 27 degrees. This is the classic torn between two lovers. I had to sing that because they kept popping in my mind. But no, it's not about your love life. It's just it's you're torn between the past and what the present situation is. Okay, and you're trying to reconcile these two. You may feel that you have lost both, um, and that's why you're in this gloom. But you haven't. You haven't lost either yet. You just need to have faith. Pisces is all about faith. The sign of the fishes, it's the sign of Jesus and religion. It is all about having faith. So you just need to have faith in the present and be ready to sacrifice some of the past so that you are decluttered. Um, so there's an empty space, and a vacuum will fill that up for you. Okay, you are one of three signs that will be impacted directly by this, regardless of the degrees. So that is the 18th. On the 19th, Venus in Aquarius will trine Jupiter in Gemini, and this is at 14 degrees. Venus attracts money, love, and riches. Jupiter is the planet of good luck and expansion, and Jupiter is your ruler. It is in your opposite sign of partnerships. But Jupiter is now retrograde, so the luck and the expansion here has stopped. And Venus feels that you need a reprieve here. You need some expansion, some luck here. But Jupiter is asleep. It's going retrograde. So Venus is cajoling Jupiter to come on, give us some. We can't wait till you wake up. Um, and it's coming from your Aquarius related house, as Venus is in Aquarius. So communication and so forth. You are one of five signs that will be impacted directly, regardless of the degrees. So watch what happens on the 19th. All right. On the 21st, the sun enters Capricorn at the winter solstice. The winter solstice represents the shortest day and the longest night of the year in the northern hemisphere. And this is the second of the third phase. I talked about earlier about a compromise. Okay, this winter solstice and sun is now debating more and tweaking more this compromise and talking about it here. Uh, and it's regarding your second house, like I said. And you are not one of the signs that will be impacted directly, um, regardless of the degree. So look to 0 degrees again. And on the 22nd, this is important. It's not really on the planetary alignment, but I felt that it's important, so I'm mentioning it here. It's the last quarter moon in Libra. Watch this space, as this is a small flavor of an ending of a repetitive situation by the end of January. Okay, there's been a repetitive situation because of karma from 18 or 19 years ago between Libra and Aries. Um, this is a long story, but Libra is your 11th house of friends, groups, and associations, and Aries is your fifth house of love, romance, and creativity and children. But as you saw in October and November, they kept butting heads. Libra and Aries are just locked in this opposition dance. And Aries is volatile. It's a hothead, and it proved it with the October 17th full moon in Aries. That was quite a volatile, to say the least, full moon. And then we had another solar eclipse in Libra earlier in October, which again Aries opposed. In any case, because Libra and Aries occupy the south and north nodes, um, This repetitiveness is because of karma, but it will end by January 25th because the nodes will leave Aries and Libra, and good riddance. Oh, oh lordy. Um, but some of you may be leaving a partnership behind, maybe even partially or maybe temporarily. Those of you who aren't will realize that it is not because you can't leave, but because you choose to stay, and for whatever purpose that is. But like I said, by the end of January, the codependency repetitive issue will disappear, and independence, um, even if you stay in a relationship, will win out, where both of you will be able to feel lighter if this whole mess uh, is figured out. Okay, and you are not one of the four signs that will be impacted directly with this last quarter moon. And as I can see right now, it's Aries, Cancer, Libra, and Capricorn that are impacted. And what this tells me is that those are the four cardinal signs. This will be a powerful quarter moon in Libra, very powerful. So we'll see what happens then. God help us. uh, you gotta laugh. You gotta laugh, okay? And I'm laughing with you guys. I'm going through my own transformation. Believe me. All right. On the 24th, Jupiter in Gemini, your partnership house, will square Saturn in Pisces this time at 14 degrees. This is the second and last square to Saturn. The first time it happened, Jupiter was direct and expanding your seventh house of partnerships, but Saturn was retrograde and was giving you a reprieve here. Um, Even though it squared, and what that square was talking about was saying, Jupiter is expanding this house. You need to be careful, but Saturn was not strong at that time. All right. The second time, Jupiter now is retrograde, so more or less muted and helping you review what you have gained since July, or May, June. And you're tweaking what you want to keep and what you don't want. And Saturn is now direct and strong, and he is the taskmaster. He rewards patience and discipline. He is the planet of boundaries. Those rings around Saturn, those are the boundaries that everyone must comply with. And this square is related to that square. So Saturn here is helping you cut the fat that you don't need in this house. Okay, because when Jupiter wakes up and starts going forward, Saturn will be going forward as well, and Jupiter will expand. If there is any problems or issues, it will expand it. Even though he's your protector and your ruling planet, um, the planets don't hate us; they want the best for us. So he will expand. If there's an issue, he will expand the issue, because it will test the limits of it. I'll just say that you are one of the signs, one of the four signs that will be impacted directly, regardless of the degrees. So watch the 24th, Christmas Eve, and then Christmas. Merry Christmas to you, Saggy. Um, the next important thing is, well, I was not going to talk, but I will talk about it for you. On the 29th, Chiron, the wounded healer, the maverick, the teacher, in Aries, your fifth house of love, romance, children, and creativity. No. Wait, I'm so sorry. I'm doing this at such a late age. Yes, it is your fifth house. I'm so sorry. Um, will station direct. So watch the 29th again. You will get like a snapshot. The veil will be lifted, but there is a wound that is in your fifth house, a hurt, and Chiron has been going backwards in this house and trying to figure out the root cause of it. So now it will be going forward, and it will start the healing process for you in that house. Um, it will go direct at 19 degrees. Look to your natal chart to see where 19 degrees is at. And then finally, the month ends with the New Year's new black moon in Capricorn at 0 degrees. Yes, it is actually called black moon. Only Capricorn. Um, Black moon, lordy. Well, it is because it's the dead of winter, but it's because Capricorn is so somber. Capricorn is all about government, military, law enforcement, about the law, and then it just straight and narrow. And it would be fitting for it to be called the new black moon in Capricorn. Oh, I'm so sorry. I'm sorry, I'm laughing with you. So, this is the third phase of the compromise that I talked about that started the first week in December. And then the winter solstice on the 21st, when there was more debate about it. Now, on this new black moon in Capricorn at 0 degrees, there is a new idea forward. It is the seed being planted here, to be harvested in 6 months' time, and it fits perfectly with, like I said, the whole um, spring 2025 and then mid 2025, when this last 29 degrees that we've been all dealing with and suffering with will finally be cleared up. This new black moon will harvest what we sow on New Year's Eve. Okay. So it is also very important because it is reflecting the year of 2024 as you look in the rear view mirror, um, as well as it's setting the theme for 2025 with this new thing. Um, Full stop and period. And you are not one of the signs that will be impacted directly, regardless of the degrees. So look to 0 degrees in your chart again. And that is the end of your personal scope, Sagittarius. I hope you were informed, if not entertained at least. And if you were, do hit the like button. It really does help my channel out. And I will be also, I'm working on your guys's 2025 yearly horoscope. Um, and there's the January horoscope. I might merge these two. I'm not sure yet, but I will also be putting out 2 more videos, Pluto and Aquarius, because I haven't done one yet, and I keep promising. But I wanted this last bit of Capricorn thing to end so that everybody can catch up. And then I'm also going to be doing the Mars and Leo and Cancer video because it is not a normal transit. 6 months is a long time to be in only 2 signs, and there's a reason why. So hopefully you're subscribed so that when I drop the videos, you'll be informed. All right, Sagittarius, have a great Christmas, and I will talk to you, yes, before the end of the year. Take care.